Cubs on the ties. Second baseman number 18, Jackson Holliday.
Well, George Springer, 2 bombs for the Jays in their win at home against the Yankees. Davis Daniel, the former Auburn Tiger, opening up some eyes and dealing for the Angels. Orioles 4 more home runs in a victory against the Rangers. And the White Sox score 1 run. And still they get the better of Chris Sale and the Atlanta Braves. Steve Lennox, Lennox on Baseball live stream podcast. We are recapping day number 92 of the Major League Baseball regular season. We open up with That's Baseball, and folks, I'm not smart enough to do this, but I'm going to try. All right? That's how I'm going to start this off. I've grown tired of hearing that our country isn't great. We're great. We can be better. Okay? I'm not going the political world, but I'm saying that to say this. I'm kind of growing tired of former big leaguers beating up on the major league game as it is today. Can it be better? Yes. Are certain fundamentals not there for players? Are we seeing things that we haven't seen in the past? Yes and no. Okay. But constantly, daily, almost on a daily basis, it's very consistent right now. There are a lot of guys on social media. I don't know if it's just, hey, look at me over here. Hey, I haven't been relevant in years. But a lot of guys are just very disparaging towards the game right now at the big league level. Could things be better? Absolutely. The pitch clock, that was players policing themselves, and it didn't work. So there was an extreme. There's a pitch clock. Do I like the ghost runner, the extra runner, the runner on base to start off extra innings? No, I don't. Does Rob Manfred get a lot of blame? Yes, he does. Is a lot of it warranted? Yes. Is all of it warranted? No. But constantly we hear about, well, the game is better, not better today, or it is better today. And they're just being sarcastic, or they're pointing out things that, we couldn't point these things out 20, 25, 30, 40 years ago. Okay. We didn't have the ability. All the things that we have at the ready every single day for ourselves didn't exist when a lot of these guys who disparage the game day in and day out, they didn't exist when they played. And I wonder just how many of these guys could actually play present day. We do have a great game of baseball. Billy Chappell told Mr. Wheeler in the hotel room, for love of the game. Yes, I reference that movie often. Game doesn't stink, Mr. Wheeler. It's a great game. Let's all get on the same page. Promote the game that we have. Can things be better? Absolutely. Should we have teams right now 40 games under 500? Probably not. Should we have a couple of teams right now flirting with the possibility of losing 120 or more games? Probably not. The game is great. That's the way I'm going into the weekend. That's the way I'm going into Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, wanting to watch a lot of baseball, wanting to listen to games on the radio. We just want to point the finger and say it was better in the past. How about we just give a thumbs up to what the game is present day? Day in, day out, we're told this isn't great, this isn't great, this isn't great. Get off social media. Get out there in your own way as a former pro ball player, as someone who played the game at the highest level. Do your part, not to tear it down, but do your part to make it better. And did you leave the game better than it was there when you started? Did you leave the game better when your playing days came to an end? I ask you that as well. I think I got that off, but just tired of hearing how so many things are bad, and it wasn't this way in the past. Let's move on. Let's make things better. Recapping day number 92 of the Major League Baseball season. And if I told you the Braves and White Sox were making up a rainout from early on in the season on Thursday, and I told you it was a final of 1-0, you say, hey, Chris Sale got the better of his former team, right? Well, no. White Sox a 1-0 victory. Remember, shutout 2 of the previous 3 games against the Dodgers. 1-0 victory for the White Sox on Thursday, and a makeup of a rainout from early April. Only run of the game in the first inning Luis Robert Jr. I guess, according to Sal and Robert, basically guessing slider, got slider, boom, home run, 1-0 ball game. That turned out to be the final. Only run that Sal allowed for the game, 1-0. Chad Kuhl, 4 relievers combining on the 3-hitter against the Atlanta Braves. Jared Schuster, 3 scoreless innings. He was credited with the victory. And Sal, again, facing his former and original team, the White Sox, giving up just the 1 run, 4 hits total. He walked 1, struck out 11, and his record now 10-3 with a loss. 17th 1-run game of the season, by the way. The 17th. And as Billy Chappell said to Jane at the dinner table, yeah, we count everything in baseball, and that's what I'm counting this year. I love the 1-0 game. Hey, White Sox, thank you. Marlins, 4 runs in the 7th, 2 more in the 8th, a run in the 9th inning. The Marlins in Philadelphia beat the Phillies on Thursday, 7-4 the final. Brian De La Cruz. Admittedly, I only really see him a lot in highlights and not necessarily watching a complete Miami Marlins game. But Brian De La Cruz, player I like. 2 hits, double, 3 RBIs. Jake Berger, 3 hits, including a home run. He knocked in a pair. Kyle Schwarber, left in the 9th inning, apparent injury. Bryce Harper voted in as an all-star. Most all-star votes for a National League player. Grounded out to end the game. May have tweaked a hamstring. We'll see how Harper and Schwarber are over the weekend for that series against the Marlins. Updates are expected on Friday. Trey Turner, a couple of doubles and 3 runs scored for the Phillies. The Phillies are a team that have dealt with injuries, but if you're going to lose Schwarber and Harper for an extended period of time, just kind of bang my head on the wall for that. You certainly want to see those guys in that Philadelphia lineup. Orioles, 4 home runs. 4 more home runs for Baltimore. Beat up on the Rangers at Camden Yards, 11-2. In the opener on Thursday, Cedric Mullins, his 9th on the season. That came with a man on the 4th inning. Adley Rutschman, number 15. Heston Kjerstad, his first of the season. Colton Cowser, also homering his 11th on the year. Orioles, how about this number? 136 home runs through their first 81. They've reached the midpoint of their regular season. 136 home runs, leads the majors, 57 home runs in the month of June. Corbin Burns the win, 9-3. Burns gave up just 1 earned run against the Rangers, 9 base hits. I guess we call that scattering 9 base hits. Walked no one, struck out 5. And Burns again picking up his 9th win on the year. So the Yankees and Blue Jays open up a series in Toronto on Thursday. Scuffling is my word this year. Both teams entered scuffling, right? Well, the Jays turned out the lights early. 5 runs in the first, 3 more in the second. In the end, Jays beat up on the Yankees 9-2 in the series opener. George Springer, 3-run home run in the first to make it 5-0. George Springer, love to see it. 3-run home run in the second to make it 8-0. Jose Barrios gave up 2 earned over 7. He picked up the win. Barrios, 8 strikeouts, 7-6 with the victory. Vlad Jr., 2 hits, 2 RBIs, solo home run in the 6th inning. Now, Carlos Rodon gave up the 8 runs over the first 2 innings. Rodon did manage to go 5, saving the bullpen, some bullets, saving the bullpen a couple of innings, especially over the course of a 4-game series. But the Yankees just 3 hits. Here's another one for you. You know I like runners in scoring position, right? Well, the Yankees had 3 hits against Barrios and the Blue Jays bullpen. They only had 2 opportunities, 0 for 2. Only 2 opportunities during the entire game with runners in scoring position. Yankees have lost 4 in a row, 9 of 11, dealing with injuries, dealing with pitchers perhaps coming back to earth a little bit. Garrett Cole is back, and before Cole was ramping up to come back, I'm like, this pitching staff has been terrific. And now they're going to get their ace back. Hasn't worked out. They're not running away with the division, at least not in the next couple of weeks. After losing 7 in a row, the Blue Jays have now won 2 straight. But there's a lot of talk right now about what's going to happen with the Blue Jays, what they're going to do before the trade deadline. There was an article in one of the Toronto papers I read today about Mark Shapiro not making himself available. It's all on Atkins, the general manager, Ross Atkins, to take the brunt of it. To deal with the media on the baseball side. Shapiro is more on the baseball ops and the president of the team and all of that stuff. And it's Atkins who is the guy out front kind of taking the bullets right now. And that's been the way the last couple of years. But the article just basically saying, hey, we want to hear from Mark Shapiro and not available. It's interesting what's going to happen in Toronto here in the next couple of weeks. If you trade Vlad Jr., do you just trade Bo Bichette too? Or if you trade Bo Bichette, does Vlad Jr. and Vladdy conversations, speaking with a Spanish-speaking reporter, basically saying, hey, you know what? I'm actually open up to the Yankees. I'm the Yankees. I don't touch that one. I just don't, for some reason. I just don't. I believe Vlad Jr. has 2 more years left on his contract. Bo Bichette the same. But it'd be interesting to see what they could get back in return going forward if they do decide to clean house and maybe start over. Ellie De La Cruz, 3 base hits, including a home run. Noelvi Marte back from suspension for the Reds. He had 3 hits in his season debut. Reds 16 hits, beat up on the Cardinals in the opener in St. Louis, 11-4 the final. Andrew Abbott, 5 innings, gave up 2 earned runs. The win for Abbott. He is now 7-6. Jonathan India collecting 2 more hits. 6 straight multi-hit games for Jonathan India, the former Florida Gator, and he's now hit safely in 9 in a row overall. Royals 2-1 victory. This is going to be a fun weekend series for the Guardians and Royals in Kansas City. Royals take the opener from the Guardians 2-1 on Thursday. Both runs coming in the 6th inning. We talk about back-to-back home runs. How about back-to-back triples? Kyle Isbell triple, scored on a triple from the leadoff hitter, Michael Garcia. Garcia then scored the go-ahead run. Turned out to be the winning run on a sac fly by Vinny Pasquantino. Royals again win 2-1. Michael Wacha, no decision, gave up just 1 run, left with 1 out in the 6th inning. Sam Long, 4 strikeouts, did not allow a run, and working an inning and 2/3, came on in relief of Wacha, got the job done, and then worked a scoreless inning after that. Long picked up 4 strikeouts, did not allow a run, and working the inning and 2/3. Ben Lively gave up 2 runs, took the tough luck loss for the Guardians. James McArthur, perfect. 1-2-3 ninth inning for Kansas City, picks up the save, his 14th on the year. Davis Daniel, former Auburn Tiger, season debut, first big league start. What did he do? 8 scoreless innings. Angels at home in Anaheim, shut out the Tigers 5-0. Daniel, with no S, struck out 8, walked no one, allowed 4 base hits. Worked in 3 games for the Angels in relief in 2023. Again, first big league start, 8 scoreless innings. Ben Joyce closed out the 9th inning to preserve the shutout there as well. Miguel Sano, Luis Rengifo, and Willie Calhoun all homering in the victory for the Angels. Riley Green, 2 hits, 2 of the 4 hits for the Tigers. Detroit just 2 base runners reaching second base in the loss against Daniel and the Angels. Time of the game, 2 hours, 5 minutes. Here's something that I thought about last night as I was paying attention to this game. Just a little bit before calling it a night. I talk about teams being a pain in the neck. Really, teams that are out of it. Could the White Sox be a pain in the neck for contending teams during the second half of the season? And a lot of teams have reached that midpoint. We call the second half of the season after the All-Star break. We're reaching the midpoint for a lot of clubs now. Could the Angels be a pain in the neck for teams where you think, okay, we can sort of go in and, hey, we'll win the series against the Angels. All of a sudden you leave town or they leave town and you've dropped 2 or 3 to the Angels? I say they can be. And there's one reason. Maybe you know that reason. The one reason? Manager Ron Washington. That's why I think the Angels can be a pain in the neck to teams going forward. Cubs able to snap a 4-game losing streak. They avoid being swept in San Francisco on Thursday. Take the finale 5-3 in 10 innings. Against the Giants. Ian Happ with the ghost runner or free runner on base in the top of the 10th inning, putting the Cubs in front with a home run. Nico Horner, 3-hit game, 2-run home run in the 3rd for Chicago as well. Twins, 6 runs in the 2nd, added 7 more runs over the next 3 innings, beat up on the Diamondbacks 13-6 in the series finale in Phoenix. Byron Buxton, healthy, 3 hits, including a 3-run home run in the 4th inning. Manuel Margot, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, 2 runs scored. David Festa made his big league debut, picked up the win. Line not pretty. Gave up 5 earned runs on 7 hits. Friends and family at the ballpark for the Twins starter, Festa, and had an 11-0 lead. Again, gave up the 5 runs. He also gave up a home run to Ketel Marte in the 4th inning, but he picked up the victory. Congrats, tip of the cap to Festa, and also to his family and friends that were at the ballpark to celebrate that as well. Twins take 2 of 3 from the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks have now dropped 4 of their last 5 games. That is a recap on day number 92 of the Major League Baseball regular season. Sugar's Random Thoughts brought to you by the Yellow Rose of Talbot B&B. The Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast, located in Easton, Maryland. If you're considering to stay on the beautiful Maryland Eastern Shore this summer, this fall, this winter, great year-round location. If you're considering to stay out there on the Maryland Eastern Shore from D.C., Maryland, Jersey, Delaware, anywhere on the Mid-Atlantic, anywhere on the East Coast, consider a stay at the Yellow Rose of Talbot Bed and Breakfast in Easton, Maryland. Tell my sister Tammy, my brother-in-law Kenneth, that I sent you their way. I'm wondering right now, Cardinals are a couple of games over 500. Is Jordan Walker going to get promoted again to the big league club? Is he going to contribute at the major league level for the Cardinals again in 2024? Now, I understand you want them to start. I want the guy. I don't necessarily have a team anymore, but I understand you wanting your guy to start the All-Star game, to get voted in. I understand that. But as I've gotten to be old and I want to watch the All-Star game, and remember, the All-Star game, remember when the All-Star winner, either the National League or American League, whoever won the All-Star game, they had home field advantage in the World Series. Remember that? Wasn't that long ago. Was it a good idea? Was it a bad idea? But right now, the way the All-Star game is set up, yeah, it's great. Yeah, you got voted in as a starter for the All-Star game. But I'd actually rather see guys compete at the end of the All-Star game, because the want is for the game to be decided in the final 3 innings. So that's when you want those guys in the All-Star game. You got voted in. Is Bryce Harper going to get a big at-bat in the 8th or 9th inning of an All-Star game? No, he's not. Is Aaron Judge? No, he's not. So I'm not asking for changes. You start the All-Star game, you start the All-Star game. But the guys are going to perhaps, and you want that at the end of the night, 7th inning on. You want those guys. You want guys in the lineup who are going to have a positive impact on winning the All-Star game. It's an exhibition. I know that. And while I'm on that subject, while I'm on my high horse, while I'm on the soapbox, can we please, if there's one change in baseball right now, you know that old thing, if you were commissioner for the day? For today, if I were commissioner for the day, it goes back into play. You're voted in as an all-star, as a member of the San Diego Padres, Colorado Rockies, Houston Astros, the other 27 teams around Major League Baseball. You wear, and I don't care if it's the alternate top, as long as it's not the City Connect, but you wear your team's uniform, not the All-Star Game uniform. How about that? Can we agree on that? Sugar's Random Thoughts. Our latest Lennox on Baseball chat. Great response to this one. And I'm glad, because we've had over 200 views and I think over 300 watches total on all the X, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube channels, all of those. Latest Lennox on Baseball chat with former big leaguer Jimmy Gobble is up and available, as are our past interviews as well, going back to the start of COVID, stopping our interviews for a long time, restarting them, trying to get them on a consistent basis. But our interview right now available on the Lennox on Baseball channel. As always, we thank you for your support. As always, we appreciate you tuning in as we recap Major League Baseball and doing this a little bit differently, not just giving the stats, but a little commentary, a little thought as well, perhaps provoking thought, probably not. But as always, we do appreciate it. And as we close on most shows, as we have just recapped day number 92 of the Major League Baseball regular season, yes, I don't have a cold, I promise. But yeah, a little sore there in the throat. It happens from time to time. For a 50-year-old, for a 20-year-old, for somebody who is 80-plus years old. Yes, as we do on most occasions, former Aberdeen Ironbird intern Brian Holland sends us away.
Stop talking during the anthem. Go watch Steve Lennox's new podcast, because Steve is the man.